You know, it took me a long time to figure out exactly how to get the exact result that I was seeking out to get. And I always wondered like, I'm not a lazy person. I'm not a person that doesn't want their goals. I'm not a person who won't show up for what I intended to go for. But why can't I just figure out how to stay consistent and get to where I'm going? And I imagine and I know that there's a lot of people exactly like that in who I know personally. And I imagine that if I know people like that personally, and if I am a person who was like that, then there's got to be a million other people who are like that. So I think I finally cracked the code in a simple enough way that it makes sense, right? Um, I believe so. I'm thinking about goal setting, right? And I think your goals are too big. Hear me out. Hear me out. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds crazy. Maybe your goals are just a little too big. Too big, too vague, and not personal enough, right? So let me explain what I mean. Too big. What's a goal that seems like it's too big? A goal that's too big is I want to get rich. I want to get fit. I want a girlfriend. You know? Too big. Too big. Too vague? Equally too vague. Why do I say it's too vague? It's too vague because what do you really actually want? Everybody wants a girlfriend. Everybody wants money. Everybody everybody wants these things. That doesn't make you different. So, if you can pinpoint what these things actually bring you, then you can start to break down your goal a lot more, right? So, my new saying is you got to stack unknowns. Stack unknowns. What does that mean, Eon? That means, okay, hmm. That means you find, all right, let me slow it down, obviously. Okay, so let me give you an allegory of how this works. Doctor tells me that I'm obese, right? Doctor tells me that I'm obese. Me going to the doctor in the first place was an unknown. Why was it an unknown? Because I think that I'm healthy. Why do I have to go to the doctor? But here goes my girl telling me, hey, you should go to the doctor just to get a checkup. You know what? Maybe you're right. So that's the first unknown, right? I don't really expect anything to come of it because I'm healthy. But it's an unknown because I don't exactly know what their tests are going to show. So the tests show that I'm obese. All right. Obese based on BMI. I obviously know that doesn't really mean anything because you can have a certain level of muscle on your body, certain level of fat, and you can still be healthy and be overweight in BMI. But I realized, okay, she said obese. I don't like that word. And I already was very much interested in eating healthier, eating less calories because I heard the word calorie deficit. I know if I eat healthier, I can control that better. So, boom, let me start eating healthier. I start eating healthier, right? I eat healthier. All right. I feel better, but it's not really making any change. Then it dawns on me, hello, new unknown. You're gonna have to burn what's already on top of your body, right? So, how am I gonna burn what's on top of my body? All right, new unknown. Hmm. All right, how about I do some dips at work. I just picked one exercise that I thought was fun, because really and truly, does your body really burn calories here or there, or based on whatever exercise? It doesn't matter. Burn some calories, right? All right, cool. Ooh, I start getting brolic up top, but my legs is looking jelly. I wonder if I start jump roping. So you already see how this pattern is going, right? I make a small change. Okay, let me work out. Let me eat healthy every day. See what changes. That change led me to another change. Let me do my dips. That change led me to another change. Let me jump rope. Right? So how do you be more specific, right? That's the first thing. You have to choose something more specific. Something more specific. How do you choose it? This is the fun part. Because the goal, lose weight, is too big. You have to understand the fundamental pieces of this overarching goal. There's so many different reasons, so many different parts. So in losing weight, there's part one. You have to eat better, eat less. Because if you eat more, then you're just going to be saving more. Your body can only waste but so much. Then you got to burn what's already there. Then you got to section out pieces of your body to sculpt how you want to sculpt it. Then why am I working out? Start finding boxing videos. Who knows? Maybe I might be a boxer. One thing leads to the next. And if you're really true to your overarching goal, which might be lose weight, if you're really true to your overarching goal, these little tiny goals will naturally lead you to the big goal. And who knows, the big goal might actually be a tiny goal in your life goal, right? So, what did we just learn? Your goals are too big. Your goals are too big. I'm going to say it one more time. Your goals are too big. But it's not too big at the same time, because that's the mind fuck, right? Because the big goal gets you excited. You see something externally that somebody else has, or that you think might be a cool way to experience, and that gets you excited. So now, as a wiser person, you now understand, okay, what are the building blocks that make up this goal? And you attack the funnest one. You can, if you're more of a chronological order type person, you can start at burning. You can start at eating better, and then burn, and then chisel, and then sculpt. But I don't actually think you have to choose one to start with, because they ultimately all get you to the result. You got to stack unknowns. You don't necessarily know how you're going to get there, but pick up a specific habit that you can trust yourself to show up on every day. And I promise you, you're going to get bored as shit of that, because it's so easy to do, that then you have two options. You either stop doing that habit and go backwards, and now you're back at point A where you started, or you find something else to stack on it that also would be fun, and you keep doing that, and you keep doing the second thing, knowing that they all build on each other to help you get where you're going. You have to stack unknowns. Why do I call it stacking unknowns? Because you don't know where this will go. You don't know where your interests will go. And usually, If you're really truly passionate, if you're really about your goal, it will lead you. If you about the big goal, your small goals will lead you right back to that big goal, because there's only like 5 real goals in life anyway. Shoot. So, I hope I helped tonight. Remember what I said. Watch this video again. Shoot. Ooh. If this was helpful idea, if this was helpful knowledge, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that like button to me. Because page trying to grow. And that's my little goal. Let me just put you on real quick. My tiny goal is show up. Show up. Show up. Freestyle on the mic. Say something. Make a video each night. It don't gotta be that good. You just gotta do it. I even tend to go back on, if I find a YouTube page that I like, I go back and find their first video. And it'll be like 10 years ago. It takes patience and persistence, but it could be much easier than that. Follow your interest. Follow the unknown. From interest to interest, change to change, cause to effect. All right, good night. That's Mr. E. Mr. E on Contaste. That's Mr. Contaste. And I'm out. Stay locked in, twin.